Hey everybody, we're back. By the end of this video, you're going to see the first product we've designed and made for the GT86. You're also going to know exactly how we did it through taking it off the car, designing it in CAD and making it on our milling machine. Let's get to it. First thing we need to do is measure it.
As you can see, we've got all our key dimensions now and sketched them up. So we jump into CAD. We're using Onshape, which is a free cloud-based CAD software. And most CAD programs work the same, where we select a sketch plane first, and then within that sketch plane we draw shapes. So we can do rectangles, circles, lines, all sorts of different things at this level, and it's all in 2D. We tend to then dimension them up, the key dimensions we need, taking these from what we've already measured. And once we're happy with that, we then use other tools which are 3D tools. The most common one being extrude, but there's also revolve and other tools to do different shapes. As you can see, we've pulled this out. We've made this about 24mm thick, or we will be doing. But you can see we then have a 3D shape after doing an extrude command. The next thing we can do with extrude is, you can see we're doing another sketch on one of the faces, and we're going to do a cut. So this means we can remove material from the block we've just created right through, as you can see there.
So we carry on doing the same thing, sketches, cut, extrude, and this is what we've ended up with. Decided to do some speed hole, neck the center piece in, which is a little bit like how this comes in. A gap here, this is where we're going to engrave our logo. As we sell these, this might be where we let people send us files or text and we can engrave that for them. The first thing I need to do is we go to manufacture and we create the setup. Now this is how it's going to appear in the machine, and that's what these axes mean. The first thing I want to do is find out what I'm going to make it from, which I need to go and see what stock we've got that's suitable. So this is what I found. This should be 2" by 1 1/4. As you can see, we're just a little bit over that, and it's long enough. Also worth noting, in the design, it's very important that internal corners for machining have to have a radius. We can't machine a sharp corner because the tool's are round, generally speaking. So that's a cutter. You can see it's round, so that cutting inside there isn't going to be able to cut a sharp corner. So we put a radius in to make that nice. So now we know our stock, we're going to tell Fusion, this is Fusion 360, tell it two things. We're going to say this is the way I want to machine it. So that's the way up I want the part, almost. We're just going to flip that axis. That's correct now to my machine. And we're going to select the stock point at which this is where I'm going to tell the machine to start from. This is 0. The next important thing is the reason we found the stock first is we're going to tell it how long it is. All that happens now is we select different processes to basically remove all of this yellowy material and end up left just with this left. So I select an operation so we can do a 3D adaptive. So if I hit OK on that, it's going to do a calculation and it's going to decide what it's capable of doing with this tool. It's quite a big tool, so it might not do everything, and we can simulate what each process does. So if I press play now, it's going to show me what the milling machine is going to do. I'll speed it up. So this is what we're going to see it do in the machine. And that's basically all there is to machining. So I'm going to jump into this, I'm going to put the rest of the processes in, and then I'll show you the simulation once we've got this entire operation finished. This is the end of the simulation. You can see we've got all these different processes now to get us to this point. Purple is existing stock and the green is our part. Let's go get it in the machine. Okay, so it's time to go. We've got our stock, we'll put it in our vise and clamp it up. 0 is when the red and the black get to exactly 0 on the gauge. And then I repeat the process for X and Y, GT86, back strap, up 1. Now the program's ready to go. So I'm about to press start. As you can see, there's a glass screen in front of us. So I'm sorry about any reflections. I'll just press the coolant now, and I've slowed down the feed just because it's the first time we're going to run it, just to make sure it doesn't just crash into the thing straight off the bat. It hasn't, so we'll crank it up. This is when it gets noisy and we can't see anything anyway. Hopefully you get the idea. You can see it's cutting material just as it did in the program. So you get the idea. So that's it, we're done. Let's check it out. That's the underside. That is the finished part. Looks pretty good. What do you think, Piggy? Piggy likes it too. We're going to give it a quick deburr and then we're going to try it on the car. Back at the battery and the moment of truth. I think it's looking pretty good. Looks better than the rest of the car. I think that's a result. If anybody's interested in upgrading to one of these, let us know. We're going to put a link below to our website where you can buy one. So that's it. That's our first product. I hope you've learnt something. Hope you enjoyed it. And check out the next video. Who knows what it'll be about.